We all have ability, and putting your ability to use is your responsibility. Yes, we all have ability, and putting your ability to use is your responsibility. Good evening, guys. Thank you so much for joining us again on another exciting Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade. I'm super excited to be here, and today is going to be another exciting time. On the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade, we basically get to do four things. Number one, we get to take your questions. So if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask your questions and we gladly take them, right? And then number two, we got to share with you the upgrade mastery tip for the week. And for this week, yes, for this week, the upgrade mastery tip for this week is ability. Yes, ability is the upgrade mastery tip for this week. We get to talk about ability, right? And then number three, we get to connect, network, and bond. Like you already know, connecting is very, very important, critical, and vital in our world that we live today. So it's important that we get to connect, we get to network, and we get to also bond, right? And also, finally, on the upgrade life, we get to have fun because we strongly believe that if learning is not fun, there is no learning at all, right? So, once again, we want to say a very big welcome to you for joining us today on another exciting Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade. See, guys, today it's going to be really, really interesting, really educative, and hope you have your pen and your jotters because there's so much you're going to write, there's so much you're going to learn, right? There's something about ability that I believe that you may have not paid attention to before now that you must begin to pay attention to moving forward. Because trust me, we all have ability, and putting it to use is your responsibility. So today we're going to begin the conversation by asking our basic five questions. Our basic five questions always help us set the tone for what we're going to discuss about because with that questions, we lay the foundation that would help you to understand what it is that we are talking about so that you have a rock solid understanding of what it is we're talking about. So it's not just wishy washy, it's not just something you're guessing, it's something that you really, really do now understand why this is important and why you must pay attention to this. So we start off with our basic five questions, right? Basic five questions. So, question number one is very simple. What is ability? Now, when you hear the word ability, what is the thing that comes to your mind? Like, what is ability? What does it actually mean? What is it? What is ability, right? Now, I'll tell you what ability is that I believe you should pay attention to so you can know how this really affects you. Now, ability is what you can do that you have discovered that plays a vital role in who you are becoming. I'll say that again. Ability is what you can do that you have discovered that plays a vital role in who you are becoming. Now, that is ability. And give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm back. Now, ability is what you can do that you have discovered that plays a vital role in who you are becoming. So it's what you can do that you discovered that play a vital role. So which means we all have ability. We all have that thing that we can do that we need to discover that also play a vital role in the person that we are becoming. Are you following? We all have that ability, right? And that ability plays a vital role in the person, right? It plays a vital role in the person that we are becoming. Now, follow me closely. The next question is who is responsible for ability? Who then is responsible for ability? And the answer is simple you are. You are the person that is responsible for ability. No one else is responsible for your ability. You are the person that's responsible for ability. Right? Now, Question number 3. Why ability? Why do we have to talk about ability? Why is ability of any importance to us? Why do we even need to consider the conversation on ability? Why? Why is it anything of a bother? Why should we pay attention to it? And I'll tell you why ability. Right? I'll tell you why ability. Number 1 is capability. The number 1 reason why ability is capability. Now, with ability, because it's something that you can do, you're building capability, which means you are now capable to do something because of the ability that you have, right? So ability builds capability, right? Number 2, why ability is capacity. Now, with your ability, you now have capacity. Now, with your capacity, there's so much more that you can be able to do because you now have capacity, right? So you see the reason why ability is important. First, you understand that there is capability, what you're not capable to do because of the ability that you have. And then next is capacity. Now, as you keep using this ability, you develop more capacity. And then number 3, why ability is because of competence. Now, as you keep using your ability, guess what happens to you? You begin to develop competence. Earlier on, we've discussed and had a session on competence, right? So just in case you missed that session, you can always go back and watch that session on competence. Now, so your ability helps you over time to build competence. And this is why ability is important. So you see, it moves first from your capability, it moves down to your capacity, and then it moves into your competence. And this is why ability is important. Now, question number 4. Question number 4, right? The question is, what are the benefits of ability? Now, we know what ability is. We know who's responsible for ability. We know why ability. Now, the question now is, what are the benefits of ability? What are the benefits? What do you stand to gain because you have ability? What are the benefits of ability? What are the benefits of ability? And I'm going to share with you 3 important benefits of ability, right? 3 important benefits of ability that would help you. Just 3. Number 1, one of the benefits of ability is that it can be upgraded. Now, I love this part of your ability being upgraded because it just helps you become a better person, right? So your ability can be upgraded. So the ability you have when you start off on something, over time, it can be upgraded on that particular thing. Because that's one of the benefits of ability, is that you can upgrade it. It doesn't have to stay the same way. It can be upgraded, right? That's one of the benefits of ability. It can be upgraded. You can upgrade it. Now, second benefits, right? Second benefits of ability is the fact that it is sought after and rewarded. When you are the person who has the ability, guess what? You will be sought after and you will be rewarded. So it is not on you to go seeking after people. It is on you to build your ability. It's on you to work on your ability, because when you work on your ability, you will be sought after and you will be rewarded based on your ability. This is the second benefit of ability that I truly, truly love, is that it is sought after and rewarded. Right? The one who has ability will be sought after, and the one who has ability will be rewarded for that ability. So this is very important that you understand this, right? And now the third benefit of ability is simple. It cannot be taken away from you. I love this third benefit of abilities because nobody can take away your ability from you. Nobody can take it away from you. It is your ability, and nobody can take it away from you. They can take away your clothes, they can take away your car, they can take away your phone, they can even take away your account. But you see, your ability, nobody can take that away from you. So why would you want to joke with something that is yours for life? Like literally, it is yours for life. So this is the third benefit of ability. Number one, it can be upgraded. Number two, it is sought after and rewarded. And then number three benefit is that it cannot be taken away from you. Nobody can take your ability away from you. Nobody can. Nobody can. Even if they try, nobody can. Because it is your ability. Now, when is the best time for ability? You may be wondering. Now that we know what ability is, we know what it stands for, we know the benefits, we know why ability. When is the best time for ability? And I will tell you this, and I'll be brutally honest with you. The last best time for ability was yesterday. Like you already know. The next best time for ability is now. Now is the next best time for you to actually start to work on your ability. Now is the next best time for you to actually start to do what must be done on your ability. Right? So now is the next best time for ability. And I want you to understand this, guys. I want you to understand this. There is no greater show of your responsibility like in your ability. I will say that again. There is no greater show of your responsibility like in your ability. So it's your ability that shows us how responsible you are. How you put your ability to use that shows us how responsible you are. So there is no greater show of your responsibility like in your ability. So your ability tells us so much about you that you don't even realize it is telling. Now, let's get into the word ability itself, right? Follow me closely. Let's get into the word ability. Ability, ability. Now, let's get into the word ability and let's break it down, right? Hope you're still hearing me. Hope you're following. Hope you're taking notes. And please leave a comment in the comment section so I know that you're listening. I know that you're taking notes, right? Now, let's break down ability. Now, the A in ability is awareness. Now, ability starts off with awareness because you are aware of the ability that you have. You know you have this ability. So you are aware. So it's not something that takes you by surprise. It's not something that you are oblivious of. So the first thing about ability is awareness. You become so aware of your ability. Right now, so this is not what, you are being told, no. You are completely aware of your ability. So ability kicks off with awareness, right? It kicks off with awareness. You are aware. No one is telling you what it is. You are just aware. So ability kicks off with awareness. The B in ability is your belief. Now that you are aware, you have a strong belief in what you are aware of, right? You have a strong belief in what you are aware of. So because you are aware of your ability, you have a strong belief in that ability. So you don't joke with it. Instead, you take it seriously. You train it. You refine it because you are aware, right? Because you are aware. Now, the second thing that is very important here that you need to understand is the I in ability. The I in ability stands for identity. Now, the reason why you understand your ability is because you have an identity of who you are. You know who you are. You know, a lot of people don't know who they are. A lot of people don't yet understand their identity. A lot of people are still suffering from identity crisis, and because of that, they cannot put to use their ability because they don't really know who they are, right? The I in ability is your identity. You know yourself. You know who you are. You know what you can do. And that stems from your discovery of your identity. The I in ability is your identity, so you know yourself. Like scripture says that they that know their God, they will be strong and they will do exploit because they know, right? So the I in ability is your identity, right? The L in ability is learn. And there are so many things that you learn on your journey in life because you have discovered your ability, you put that ability to use, and in that process of use, you are learning. The scripture says, through reason of use, they have their senses exercised to discern between good and evil. Through reason of use. So there is the learning that takes place with your ability. It doesn't remain the same. You learn. And when you learn, you get better. Right? When you learn, you get better. Now, the other I in ability is intentional. When you know your ability, you become very intentional about the things you do and the things you don't do because you know your ability, you know yourself, right? Like they say, fishes don't go to swimming, don't take swimming lessons. Birds don't go to flight schools. Did you get that? Fishes don't take swimming lessons. Birds don't go to flight school because they have that ability, right? So birds cannot be made to swim, right? They say cat can swim, doesn't make it a catfish. Birds cannot be made to swim because they don't have the ability for that. So, because of your ability, it helps you to be intentional about what you do and what you can do because you know yourself, right? And then the T in ability is timely. Every ability makes the most of time. You cannot waste time with your ability. You just cannot waste time. Every ability makes the most of time because time is what helps refine your ability. It's what helps to take your ability to become capacity, to become capability, to become competence. Time. And then finally, the Y in ability is you. You have ability, right? The Y in ability is you. You have ability. So never believe that you lack ability. That's not true. You have ability, right? You may have been born empty. You may have been born naked. Sorry. You may have been born naked, but you are not empty because you have an ability. So the Y in ability is you. So now this is what ability is awareness, is belief, is identity, is intentional, is learned, is intentional, timely, and it's you. That's ability. Awareness, belief, identity, learn, intentional, time, you. That is ability. Now, let's take some examples that would help us to understand this. Now, one of the scriptures that comes to mind when we talk about ability is in Matthew 25. The parable of the talents, right? The Bible sets off to say that there was a master who had 3 servants and he was to go on a far journey. So he called his servants and gave each one talents according to their ability. Follow that story closely. He gave them talents according to their ability, which means, follow me closely, the master already had seen their various ability and he gave them the talents, which some other translation says were a bag of gold according to their ability, which means they all of them had ability. To one he gave 5 talents, to another he gave 2 talents, and to the last he gave 1 talent, according to their ability. Now, but this parable shows us 3 important things about ability. Yes, this particular parable shows us 3 important things about ability. Number 1, you must work with it. Whatever ability you have, you must work with it. The one who was given 5, he worked with his 5 talents and he got 5 more. The one who was given 2 worked with his 2 talents and got 2 more. The one who was given 1 did nothing. So the first thing we realize from this parable that shows us about ability is that 1, you must work with it. 2, you can also hide it. Because you saw the one who was given 1, he went to hide his talent. Which means you can hide your ability, but it profits you nothing to hide your ability. It profits you nothing to hide your ability. And then the third lesson we learn from that parable is that you will be rewarded or punished for how you use your ability. Or simply put, you'll be rewarded or punished with what you do with your ability. Did you get that? You'll be rewarded or punished with what you do with your ability. So the one who was given 5 and got 5 more was rewarded. The one who was given 2 and got 2 more was rewarded. The one who was given 1 and did nothing but hide it was punished. In fact, the talent he was given was first taken away from him and then given to the one who had 5, and then he was now punished. So these 3 things are very important that plays a vital role in who you are becoming. So there's something you can do with your ability, and you will either be rewarded or punished based on what you do with your ability. So these are the 3 lessons we can draw out from that parable. Now let me tell you this. You can have talent. It does not make it ability. I'll say that again. You can have talent. It does not make it ability. You're saying, well, is there any difference between those two? I'll explain. Right? Let me explain. You can have talent. It doesn't make it ability. Let me explain. Now, on this side is talent. On this side is ability. Now, let me explain this too. You may be talking. That's talent. When it becomes ability is when you are a speaker. Are you getting it? Now, you may be funny. That's talent. When it becomes ability is when you become a comedian. They're not the same thing, right? You may be singing. That's talent. But when it becomes ability, you become an artist. Are you seeing the difference? You may be whining. You know how to whine people. You know how to get people to do what you want. You may be whining. That's talent. But when it becomes ability, you are a salesperson. Are you seeing the difference? Now, you may be always on social media. That's talent. But when it becomes ability, you are an influencer. Right? You're an influencer. So you can see the difference between talent and ability. You may be giving advice. That's talent. Giving advice, talent. But when it becomes ability, you become a counselor or a coach. So you see, you can have talent. It does not make it ability. You have to do the work to make your talent become ability. You have to do the work. Right? Now, ability is referred to as a skill that is marketable and is monetized. And if you cannot monetize it, it's still a talent. It's still a talent. Everybody talks, but not everybody speaks. The one who has the ability of speaking is the one who gets paid to speak. Now, there are 3 important traits of ability that I want you guys to understand. 3 important traits of ability. Number 1 trait of ability is value. Every ability becomes value. By value, I mean it is something that is beneficial, that is of help, and that is a solution. Every ability becomes value, right? Number two trait of ability is it is needed. The ability you have, what makes it an ability is that people need it or it is needed. And then number three trait of ability is that it is rewarded. It is rewarded. Now, I love this because this just lets you know that your ability can be able to set you up for life because it is value, it is needed, and it is rewarded. Now, understand this also. There are two vital roles of ability. Two vital roles of ability. Number one, the impact on self. Every ability has its impact on self. That's number one. It has the impact on self. Number two, it has the impact on others. The ability that you have impacts you, which means it makes you relevant with the value that you bring and that you are needed. Makes you relevant. And then the impact on others, it makes you significant. So these are two vital roles of ability. One, the impact it has on you, self. Two, the impact it has on others. Now, the impact on self is what makes it relevant. The impact on others is what makes it significant. Now, what is the one goal of ability? What is the one goal of ability? The one goal of ability is refined skill. Yes, the one goal of ability is refined skill. So it's not just skill, but refined skill. That's the one goal of ability, refined skill. The skill is refined, right? Refined skill. Now, when it comes to ability, nature's verdict always applies. And what is nature's verdict? Use or lose. That's nature's verdict. And it applies with ability. You use or you lose. It's that simple. Nothing more, nothing less. You use or you lose. So you can recall that growing up as a child, you could discover you had some certain abilities that you were using as a child. But now as you grew up, you put those abilities aside, you don't use them, and you have now lost them. You know, personally, growing up as a child, I could really draw. Like, I was really artistic. I could have a painting, I could draw. I used to draw cartoons from newspapers back in the day. But I put that ability aside, and I can't really draw now, right? Compared to how I used to draw back in the day. So that is nature's verdict. It is use or lose. Now, you can remember that there are also some things about yourself that you used to be very good at before, but you did not continue to use them. You have lost them. Which leads me to the three sad things about ability. Three sad things about ability. Number one, it can be lost. It can be lost. Now, this is different from what I said earlier, that you can't take it away from you. Nobody can take it away from you, but you can lose it because you do not continue to practice with the ability. So you will lose it. It can be lost. That's the sad thing about ability. So you can realize that, oh, you used to do this before, but now you can no longer do it. It can be lost. Number two, it is not transferable. You cannot transfer your ability to somebody else. Are you getting this? You cannot take your ability and transfer it to somebody else. You know, what's in your bank account, you can transfer to somebody, whether it's your cash or your credit or your Bitcoin, whatever, you could transfer that to somebody. You see, your ability, it is not transferable. You cannot transfer your ability to somebody else. That's sad. And then the third sad thing about ability is that if you don't refine it, it can become extinct or obsolete. If you don't refine it, it can become extinct or obsolete. Now, remember the people who were very good with the typewriter when the typewriter came, right? And they were very good with the typewriter. They could type with so much speed in 1 minute. But then when the computer came and then they did not refine their ability, they could no longer be relevant. They became obsolete. They became obsolete because they did not refine their ability. So the computer pushed away those people who used the typewriter that did not refine their ability. Now, there are some biblical examples of ability. Number one, the parable of the talent. I've explained that already. This master gave the servants according to their ability. Number two, Paul. Paul said, Philippians 4:13, that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. He understood his ability. Right? The third is Daniel. Daniel understood his ability. He had discernment and wisdom. He served 4 different kings, 4 different dynasties. Ability. You see, when Proverbs 22:29 says, "Seest thou a man diligent in his deeds, he will stand before kings and not mean men," it was actually saying, "Seest thou a man diligent in his ability. Seest thou a man diligent in his ability, he will stand before kings." You see, when it comes to ability, tribe is not considered. You're not going to say, "Oh, what tribe is he from?" No. What tribe is she from? No. When it comes to ability, tribe is not considered. When it comes to ability also, religion is not considered. Oh, is he a Christian? Is he a Muslim? Religion is not considered as long as the person has the ability. When it comes to ability, location is not considered. Oh, where is he from? Where is he located? No, location is not considered. These 3 things are not considered when it comes to ability. Your tribe, your religion, your location, they are not considered. Even your education is not considered when it comes to ability. The question is, do you have the ability? You see, in Genesis 41, Egypt was in a dire state, and only Joseph had the ability to navigate them through the times. Only Joseph. Did not consider if Joseph was young. When you have the ability, there are so many things that is no longer considered because you have the ability. And I'd like to let you know this, that ability makes you the needed. Ability makes you the needed. People need you because you have the ability. You become the needed because you have the ability. And now this will come as a shock to you, but believe it. You are only as useful to people to the degree your ability is useful to them. I'll say that again. You are only as useful to people to the degree that your ability is useful to them. That's it. To the degree to which your ability is useful to them, that's how useful you are to them. You see, it is your ability that puts you on people's radar. The reason people remember you, what puts you in their radar, is your ability. It's your ability that makes people look for you. They went to bring Joseph out from prison. Ability is what makes people look for you. It's your ability. See, when it comes, and see, your ability, when refined, it becomes a source of value and profit. When you refine your ability, it becomes a source of value and profit. And you know, value is anything that is beneficial, that is of help, and is a solution. And profit is about influence, impact, and income. So get this and get this right, guys. Your ability, when you refine it, it becomes a source of value and profit for you. You see, people will come to you when you have the ability they seek and need. That's why they'll come to you. Nothing more, nothing less. People will come to you when you have the ability that they need and that they seek. They came looking for Joseph in prison, in the dungeon in prison, because he had the ability that the whole of Egypt was seeking and was needing. You see, it is your responsibility to use your ability to showcase your ability and to make demands based on your ability. I love this part. It is your responsibility to use your ability to showcase your ability and to make demands on your ability. It's up to you. Joseph used his ability. He showcased it with the butler and the baker, and also with Pharaoh. And then he placed demand based on his ability. He told Pharaoh to set a man all over the lands in Egypt, a man that is discerning and wise. That was Joseph making demands based on his ability because he knew there is nobody in Egypt who's discerning and wise like him. Because if there was someone, they would have interpreted the dream. They wouldn't have remembered him. See, Pharaoh did not have Joseph as first choice. You see, Joseph was not Pharaoh's first choice. It wasn't top of mind. But because nobody else, all the magicians, nobody else could interpret the dream. That's when the butler said, "Oh, I remember this day, my wrong." It was in Hebrew in the prison. 2 years ago, when we had a dream, myself and the baker interpreted the dream, and the dream came to pass. And then Pharaoh said, "Make haste to bring him." See, guys, it is your responsibility to use your ability to showcase your ability and to make demands based on your ability. Now, you must understand this. When you have ability, people they are not favoring you. When you have ability, people are not favoring you because you are the needed. They are not doing you a favor. When you know your ability, you have discovered it, you have developed it, you have deployed it, people are not doing you a favor. No, they are not. They are not doing you a favor because they need your ability. They are not doing you a favor. They need you because you have the ability that they seek and that they need. You see, interestingly, only you can hide your ability. Only you can hide your ability. Like the one servant in the parable of the talent, he hid his one talent. So only you can hide your ability. But you see, your ability makes you a light that cannot be hidden. When you truly use your ability, it makes you a light that cannot be hidden. It makes you a light that cannot be hidden. You can't hide it. You just cannot hide it. And an interesting thing to note is the fact that ability is amoral. It can be used for good, it can be used for evil. It's amoral. It can be used for good, it can be used for evil. But remember this, your ability is summarized into two things: what you know and what you can do. Your ability is summarized into two things: what you know and what you can do. So, guys, the essence of this conversation today, though not a long one, is to remind you of the importance of your ability. And the truth is this: you have ability, you have just not put it to use. Put it to use. Otherwise, you will experience nature's verdict, which is use or lose. And we don't want you to lose your ability. Instead, use it. Use it. Don't lose it, or use it. Because the ability that you use, that becomes capability, that becomes capacity, that becomes competence. It's your ability. And you can refine your ability. Remember, it's not enough to have talent. You must move your talent to become ability. There's so many talented people in the world, but not many of them have moved their talent into becoming ability that can be marketable and can be monetized. You see, guys, the ability is one thing that will make room for you. Yes, the ability is one thing that will make room for you. It's one thing that God can bless. You know, one scripture says, "You will bless the labor of your hand." It's your ability that He gets to bless. So it is your responsibility to take charge of your ability. Don't say, "Oh, my ability is insignificant." There's no insignificant ability. There's no insignificant ability, because if it was insignificant, the guy who got two could have gotten zero more or one more, but he got two more. And the guy who got five more. So there was no insignificant ability. The ability is useful and the ability is important. So use it so you don't lose it. So, guys, today we've come to share with you ability, and we hope that this conversation would help you to go back and sit with yourself and really ask yourself, what is the ability that I have? And if you know the ability, you've discovered the ability, it's time to develop it and then deploy it. You develop the ability and then you deploy the ability. That's how you would see the benefits of having that ability. So, guys, I hope this is coming at the right time for you so you don't keep complaining when you have ability. This is a clarion call for you to go back and begin to work on your ability. And trust me, the opportunity will come knocking when you work on your ability. Like I always tell you, three things will happen for you in this new week. Number one, increased voice of God. Number two, open heavens over your life. And number three, more angelic activities in all that you do. Remember, there's always more on the upgrade side of life. So we encourage you to leave good behind so that you can upgrade, because you have ability and we want you to put that ability to use. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you.